G'day guys and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing a bit of a report card, season review for the Cats, who once again did a great job finishing in the top four. Unfortunately, not quite making it to the big dance, and ultimately, dropping off in the prelim final to the Demons, who were the eventual premier quite convincingly. So we'll have a bit of a discussion today on, I suppose, where the Cats finished, how they went throughout the season, some games that were quite notable, and just a bit of a sort of report card style, rating. And I might even get the players involved as well. Do a quick sort of summary of their little report card as well. So once again, the Cats so often finish in the top four, and quite incredibly doing so. Once again, probably defying the odds over a number of years. So 16 wins, 6 losses. I'll have to pull out my prediction from earlier in the year, where I would have probably predicted 15 to 16 wins. I'm sure that's generally how many I pick, and you generally need about 16 to make top four. Sometimes you get away with really good percentage from 15, but normally takes that. So again, a great effort and testament to the side to be able to produce the goods in being able to position quite high up the ladder year after year. And I suppose over the last 10 years, I think this is 6 out of 9 have been top 4 finishes for the last sort of 9 or so years, which is great effort. Probably what I'll be touching on, and I won't get too emotional about today, would just be that inability to convert from those top 4 chances. Probably you should have got a flag in the last 10 or so years and haven't quite gone all the way. Obviously faced a dynasty side in Richmond, but I don't know if you can fully use that as an excuse with, we played Hawthorn or we played Richmond forever, because sometimes you've got to be the better side on the day. And we've seen interrupts before. We've seen the Pies interrupt the Tigers in 2018 in the prelim final before they got to the big dance. We saw Hawthorn in 2008, defy the odds and any logic at all by defeating the Cats at the G. And probably even Geelong maybe have won one they shouldn't have as well. Maybe St Kilda were the best side in 2009 and Geelong found a way to win. Long story short, sometimes you've got to be the best side on the night. Can't make excuses forever. But again, really, pleased in a way to get so far. Once again, preliminary final night unfortunately wasn't to be. But I think we won 10 out of 11 at one stage throughout the season, and that was looking really good. But cool, all right, we're potentially onto something here, onto bigger and better things. We're better than 2020 side, but not to be the case. I'll quickly go through the games, and obviously the Crows applied crazy pressure at the start of the match, and they got out to over 40-point lead. We came back as we normally do, but not quite enough there. So that game we didn't really come to play. Didn't come in, switched on. A couple of new guys in. This one against Brisbane, pretty lucky. We kicked a bit straighter than the Lions did. They didn't kick as straight as they would have liked, and if Zach Bailey gets holding the ball, it's probably a different ball game. But there are a few sort of close encounters, that's for sure. Hawthorn, we had complete control again. We had a 4-goal lead, just like this game, and the Hawks came back, and they were able to hang on, and a late goal from a great Henry intercept, which was almost the catalyst in changing his season around, which was excellent. We had Melbourne at the G with the relatively lean sort of setup with no Dangerfield, no Cameron. We didn't have we had a few sort of key outs, and we never really looked like winning. Melbourne were on top early, didn't put it on the scoreboard. They eventually put it on the scoreboard, and we sort of were never really out of it, but we're never really in the game. It was a bizarre game, that one. We wet one at the G. This game was frustrating to watch. I think it took us the third quarter to actually get some kind of control. We found a way. This game here was where we were like, okay, cool, we're onto something here. But then Sydney beat West Coast by 93 points or something like that. I'm like, okay, well, this result's kind of irrelevant then. But Jeremy Cameron's debut, and Mitch Duncan kicked 4. Nearly could have had 5. I wish he'd kicked 5. This one we dominated the game. as you can see by the scoring shots, we had 8 more scoring shots, but didn't kick as straight as we would have liked. Sydney, very plucky. We allowed them some really easy sort of scoring shots with the way they passed around throughout the game, and started that game off with, I think, with a 29 point lead. So that's why it was just such a disappointing loss. We had that game under wraps and just couldn't put them away. We couldn't kick straight. This game was excellent. 63-point win over the Tigers. We thought, oh, damn, we're beating the reigning premiers by 10 goals. Look out. So this is where the three-headed monster was born. Rowan, Cameron, Hawkins combined. I think they kicked 14 of the 19 goals, which was a beautiful display after the Tigers got the early run on us. St Kilda, as you can see here, they had more scoring shots. We kicked a little bit straighter, but the Saints definitely kicked themselves out of it. I think they had 6 behinds early, or 8 behinds early before they kicked the first goal. Max King had it on a string. I think he kicked 5 behinds. This was another game which was just could have gone either way. Geelong normally will always find a way at the Cattery, but the Suns definitely made it hard work, and it was a tough grind, this one to watch, but broke clear in the second half. This was one of the more bizarre games where Geelong, they were, again, never going to lose it, but then as the game wore on, it looked like they were potentially going to lose it, especially right at the end when the Pies kicked 3 or so goals in the last couple of minutes, and then we're up by 28 points with 5 minutes to go. I'm like, beauty, cool, I can finally relax. And then the Pies kicked 3 goals in a couple of minutes. I'm thinking, oh gosh, 10 points, they get a goal here. Anything's possible with 6-6-6. But yeah, Collingwood didn't really kick straight. I think they had 1 goal 10 or 2 goals 13 at some stage, so they kicked straight in the last quarter. This game was a beauty to watch as well. Geelong by 21. Cameron was the match winner. He kicked 5. He was really good to watch. And this game was very exciting with swings of momentum. I didn't really see this game at all. I saw the last 5 minutes. Had a 50th on for this game. But yeah, a real slug. Slugfare, and slugfest is probably the word I'm after. But yeah, Rowan kicked the winner after the siren. Not much more to that game really. It was a great contest, and I'm very lucky to win it. And Tom Stewart was incredible. Finish up with the votes. Then Tom Stewart had probably one of his worst games ever. He cracked it on Charlie Cameron, and the Lions definitely came out to play. They were definitely seething after the prelim loss last year, and they specifically came out with the most intent I've seen them have in years. But good win by the Lions there. Their ability to move from back half was quite impressive. Essendon, they got off to a great start, and I was concerned here. I was going, what's going on here? But then second term, I think we piled on 9 goals, and then just continued on. Jeremy Cameron controversially played, and Dana Hamey, but also kicked 3. So do we win without Cameron? Who knows? Carlton, this one was, again, not the most exciting game. There are a number of games that aren't very exciting, and this comes down to game style, which I'm sure we'll touch on. But yeah, we found a way over the Blues. Again, never really too concerned. Had enough bother. This game was my most favourite, probably just about my most favourite game of the year. Just the way we played, the pressure and the harassment we had the whole game, 4-quarter effort, and kept the Dockers to 3 goals on their home deck. They might have kicked a similar score last time as well in rainy conditions. But yeah, we absolutely bullied them, and I love that game. And I wanted to see that type of game in finals, but I didn't get to see it because we just didn't execute. This game was, I think it was tipped to be a pretty big win by the Cats, and it was 50 points with about a minute to go, and then the Tigers kicked 2 goals in a minute. So all of a sudden, it looks like a respectable margin. We did kick it really straight. Then it all started to go a bit downhill. We could sense it. We fall over the line against the Roos, 20 points. It was a 4-quarter effort. I knew it was going to be very tough all day out in Tassie. They're pretty good over there. Then all of a sudden, we find ourselves up against the Giants, tipped to probably win and win well. But, we were at, I think, 7-8 goals to the tune of the Giants, and going, what's happening here? This is one of the biggest boilovers you'll see, I'd say. Giants have a great record against us. And, we didn't kick straight. We had a chance to kick 2 or 3 early, and we kicked 1. And, the rest was history. They were able to break us through the lines on the contest. Talk about stressful games. This one was stressful. Saints kicked the first 5 goals at the Cattery, and I was absolutely fuming. Yeah, Max King was marking everything, and yeah, making us look really ordinary. But yeah, we found a way in the second half. There's some individual brilliance, and the margin there is kind of flattering in a sense, because I think St Kilda tried to take the game on, turned one over late, and all of a sudden made it a 14-point margin with a Jeremy Cameron goal. Yeah, this game probably one of the most disappointing games to have ever watched, really. We kicked 8 or 9 in the second term, and 44 points up with, probably less than 10 minutes to go in the third, and didn't kick a goal after that, and Melbourne put a pole on probably 8 or 9 themselves. So, yeah, it's one of the more bizarre games. Max Gorn kicks the winner after the siren. We know how that goes. Qualifying finals haven't been pretty, and I don't really have a theory, but I've just got a contention that, Geelong in finals clearly aren't good enough to beat the very best teams, and seem to be a fair way off the best teams, but are able to come up against and find a way to defeat the sides that, scrape over the line in an elimination final, or have a decent elimination final win, and they battered and bruised and faced the Cats, who were too proud to lose 2 in a row in a final. But anyway, the Port Adelaide one was pretty disappointing. We were just beaten up and battered in the contest. Same old stuff we've seen in finals. Look slow, unable to arrest the momentum. Small forwards giving us grief. So yeah, and it's all down to midfield, really. Midfield's the main problem there. Come up against the Giants in one of the more boring games you'll see. I mean, it sort of lit up a little bit in the last quarter. Just both sides playing not to lose almost, and Geelong found a way. Tom Hawkins kicks 5, so yeah, and he stood up well there. But it all ended on preliminary final night, unfortunately. Melbourne, to the tune of 83 points. So yeah, an absolutely massive win. Cats kicked the first goal, thinking, okay, cool, we're in with a chance. Sort of thought, Melbourne will be favourites going in, and we'll probably get the job done, but not really to the thought of 83. Seeing them defeat the Dogs, in the manner they did, I think it was about 73 points, thereabouts, doesn't make this game as bad in the sense that even the second best team in the comp, got 10 goals worse off. So Melbourne, I think all year, were probably 2 steps above everyone else. Clearly shown by their last 2 games. So just absolutely demolished Geelong and the Western Bulldogs in the biggest dance of them all. So yeah, this game was just really hard to watch, but almost captivating by how well Melbourne were playing. Geelong let them play the way they wanted to play on their terms. They didn't apply the pressure they wanted. They couldn't deal with the pressure. They couldn't run and spread from the contest. The backline looked 45. And it was just destiny for Melbourne more than anything. So, I mean, overall, when you look at all that, take all that information in, it's not a bad year, but again, it's another year where Geelong are on a tightrope with this premiership window, and looks like they're going again, really, with the way they're drafting, getting Segler into the side. But that clock is just, it's literally 12 o'clock, 12:01, or it's like the window is just closing at a rapid rate. There's not going to be too much after 2022. We have been saying that for a long time, but really, that under 25 is really struggling. There's some promise and talent, but there's not that, I suppose, massive, promising young talent up and coming. And that's what needs to happen for Geelong to go to the next level, I think. They do need to blood some youngsters into the side and give them regular exposure, but we'll see how that goes. So if I was rating Geelong's season, a team that's gone all in for a flag and ultimately come up short, naturally it's not really a pass mark. And I don't really know what a pass mark is, whether that's a C or a B or A, but if I was giving them a rating on that scale, I'd probably go C+. Overall, I mean, most teams that make it to a prelim final probably get a B+ or an A, all depending on expectation. But the expectation was Geelong need to make it to a grand final at least and be either within a kick or win the thing. However, yeah, I have to go C plus based on the expectation and based on the way they went out. And it wasn't just the Melbourne game, but the Port Adelaide game was just a sign for things to come. And it's no coincidence Geelong don't really win qualifying finals and preliminary finals often enough, because they aren't quite up to it. And look, we defeated Brisbane in the preliminary final in 2020, but they've won one final out of 6. So even that's not really a great win when you look at it. 20, close to having the game to bed against the Tigers in the grand final. Close to half time, 21 points up, but swings and roundabouts, I suppose. It's a bit of a look at the season, and let's have a look at some of the players and how they went about it. I'll mainly mark just off who was in the side for most of the season, or a good chunk of it, or a player that would be part of it. Obviously, it's a bit hard to grade blokes that didn't really play. Stanley's year was really good. I'll give him a B+. Tui's year I liked. I'll give him a B. Parfit also gets a B. Sean Higgins, he gets a D, marked D for Sean Higgins. Probably even worse, actually. He nearly could get an E, but I'll go D because he did get better as the year went on, but he started off horribly. Cameron, I will give a B+. He was excellent when he was in the side. Clark, obviously, he's out the door now, but yeah, he probably gets a E. Isaac Smith gets an A for mine. One of the best players and most consistent throughout the year. Cole Jasny, D. He was hardly cited. Holmes gets probably a C for mine. Jarvis didn't really play. Jenkins is gone. Didn't really play. Cooper Stevens, get this bloke in. Selwood, I'll give a C+. Kruger played a little bit, so played 2 games, I think, and De Koning played 1. Radigalia gets I'll go a C for Radigalia, just pass mark. He had some really good signs in the latter half of the year. Narkle probably gets a D+. I thought when he did play, he played really well, but some games he sort of let us down. Mitch Duncan, B+, really good. Rowan, C+. If he had a better final series, he'd probably easily be getting B+, because it's his best goal tally. So it's funny how it goes. Bewes gets a C+ to mine. Hendo, he's out the door, but his year overall, probably give him a C+. It would be a B if he didn't have a horror final series. Hawkins gets an A. He was absolutely excellent. Menegola gets a B for mine. Guthrie, C+. Maybe, probably, yeah, I'd say C+. I've definitely seen him play better footy and maybe had some injuries throughout the year. Atkins probably gets C for mine. Francis Evans only had 1 game and he was solid. Myers gets a D. Just, he was injured a bit, didn't do enough. Dangerfield gets a B+ for mine. Sam Simpson didn't play enough, really, for me to give him a marking. Henry was an A. I really liked the way he went about it this year. Zach Guthrie, I'll go C. He didn't play a lot of footy. Dalhouse, we'll go D-. And O'Connor couldn't really get his body right. Probably a D for O'Connor this year. Didn't really play the way I wanted to play, I'd say. Tommy Stewart, A+. So is and he was our best and fairest as well. He was just absolutely amazing. Every week, 25 plus, 10 marks. He was excellent. Close, I'll give him a B+. No, I'll go a B. He needs to kick more goals, but excellent endeavour, tackles and pressure this year. Blitzarves definitely wavered towards the end of the year. I'd say C at best for Blitzarves. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a rating of the players overall down at the category. And yeah, overall, a decent season. Oh, does the ladder want to work? Does Chrome want to work? Yeah, like, there's a lot of teams that didn't make a prelim final, but as Cats fans, we're most concerned about just getting that one premiership. And when you've gone all in for a number of years and you've gone away from the draft and the rebuild, you want to make sure that the strategy actually works. So it's going to be 2022 or bust, I think, for the Cats, because I don't see Selwood playing on after 2022. Hawkins won't be getting any better, I wouldn't have thought. And Dangerfield, already starting to slow down a bit. Obviously, we're talking about all-time greats here, but Father Time gets everyone. So, that's a bit of a look at the Cats season overall. A solid year, no doubt about that. Another top 4 finish, but unfortunately fell short yet again. But the Cats will hopefully be back bigger, better and stronger in 2022, and hopefully we can get some silverware. It's going to be tough, though. We're looking at teams like the Dogs and the Melbourne who could be building dynasty clubs with their age profile, and we're seeing clubs with players in the mid 2010s that are taking them to Premiership glory. Petrarca, Oliver, and unfortunately not this year, but the Bont. But it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe away, all that amazing stuff. And thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you guys all on the next video.